Hi everyone, meteorologist Chad Evans here with a look at your daily weather forecast video, sponsored always by Trent Johnson State Farm. Trent is my agent.com. A little later this evening, tracking some thunderstorms just recently coming through our forecast area. This is something we talked about in our forecast yesterday. Marginal risk for severe weather this afternoon, this evening, and right up to about 11 o'clock tonight. And I've had multiple reports of pea, dime, and nickel-sized hail from these scattered thunderstorms moving south to north through our forecast area. And there have been some areas of rotation too. Some of these thunderstorms did have good low-level rotation on the backside. It prompted some tornado possible tags on the severe thunderstorm warnings, but the thunderstorms are slowly moving to the north. The only report I received of quarter-sized hail actually was near Green Hill, just to the east of Pine Village and not far from Green Hill. All the others were nickels, pennies, dimes, and peas over the area. But still some thunderstorms for the north over the next couple of hours. This thunderstorm may have pea-sized hail, going to impact Kentland and the Goodland area, and then eventually move up towards Rensselaer and Brook. A little thunderstorm here moving through Fulton towards Rochester, and a couple garden variety thunderstorms, Flora and Logansport moving to the northeast, and another one here around Amboy moving to the northeast as well. That one may have a little pea-sized hail, and the one at Flora may have a few bits of rice or pea-sized hail. Now, we do have the marginal risk right through 11 due to perhaps an isolated shower or thunderstorm developing down here and moving northward over the next few hours. So we'll watch that. We'll keep a close eye on it, but at least marginal risk up to 11. Again, there are the parameters set forth yesterday and this morning. The brief weak EF0, brief severe gust, a little hail, and some locally heavy rainfall. Some spots have had more than 2.5 inches of rain this evening. We've got some flash flooding going on. Yes, more thunderstorms ahead with locally heavy rainfall. It does turn briefly cooler and drier. Then more rain and storms before we have more sustained dryness that develops generally mid to late April before it gets very active once again as we end April and move into early May. Flood watch is up for our northern counties now, Newton, Jasper, Pulaski, Fulton counties for more heavy rain. Look at all the river flood warnings, and flood watches are up in these darker green areas, but there's a lot of river flooding going on from New York all the way down to Oklahoma right now. There are the flood warnings still up on the Eel, but it has crested, but it's still running a little above flood stage. And of course, the flood warning from near Delphi all the way down to Montezuma, and also on the Tippecanoe River, now Winamac and Ora. And there's the flood watch that is up for more heavy rainfall expected tonight and into Saturday. So given that, here is the first flood warning. We got the Tippecanoe River. At 11 feet, you start to get extensive residential flooding. Now, it is 9 feet now. It is expected to rise above flood stage late tomorrow morning and should crest actually 1/10 of a foot above that 11 feet mark. Flood stage is 10 feet. So if you live near the Tippecanoe River in Winamac, there will be some residential flooding in some of those neighborhoods in that area. At Ora, at 13 feet, flooding begins to affect the streets and homes in Monterey. Now, it is 12.5 feet now. It is expected to crest at 13.3. So we're going to have some water coming into some residential streets in Monterey and parts of Winamac due to the flooding. So moderate flooding is forecast for the Tippecanoe River. The Wabash at Lafayette. So at 16 feet lowland and flooding in progress, we are forecasting a crest of 16.5, which is 5.5 feet above flood stage. And at that level, the flood waters near State Road 225 and Old 25 flood. Warren County Road 350 near Black Rock floods as well and is impassable. And the Fort Weohtanon grounds begin to flood, as well as flooding at Tapawingo Park. The trails will flood. Wabash River at Covington. Now, flood stage is 16. Forecast to crest nearly 6 feet above flood stage early Monday morning. The Lafayette crest is early Sunday afternoon. But at that stage, Sand Hill Road at Mud Run, just northeast of Covington, begins to flood. And we have extensive lowland flooding with lanes to river residences west of South River Road, south of Covington, getting flooded. Finally, Montezuma. So the flood stage is 14 feet, forecasting a crest that is of 21 feet in Montezuma, where some county roads begin to flood, and the river water is at the top of some private levees. A lot to go through there. Hey, it's 52 at Roselawn now, 65 as of 7:45 this evening at Remington, 66 Lafayette, but it's 76 at Covington, 75 degrees down here at Thorntown, and 75 at Crawfordsville still at this hour. And we notice the ponding in the fields from these thunderstorms that have been passing through this evening and all the rain we've had over the past 2 weeks. New severe weather risk comes in tonight, though, 4 a.m. and onward, right up through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Slight risk just west of the state line. We are under a marginal risk for severe. Brief weak EF0 tornado, couple severe gusts, a little hail, and I can't rule out some flooding either. Flash flooding from locally heavy rainfall. That is a 1 out of 5 on the scale. So 1 out of 5 for any thunderstorm now through 11, and then 4 a.m. through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, more marginal risk. So the thunderstorms keep working northward through this evening. We'll watch farther to the south for a couple more to form and come northward. Then thunderstorms come in late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We will have a line of storms come in from the west. You can see right here with the severe weather threat. Then it's just all rain. This is just the cold front coming through. This will be a gusty area of heavy rain with the cold front. And behind that, it will get sharply colder tomorrow afternoon. Still some rain around, but then the rain decreases tomorrow evening, and eventually any spotty showers will get out of here with time come tomorrow night. But an additional, from this point forward right through Saturday evening, an additional near 1 to 1.5 inches of rain is expected over the area. So watch for some of the flash flooding. We dry it a little bit. We get some frost early in the week. A clipper brings a couple thunder showers in here Thursday, and we warm up. Then as we warm up again, look what happens. Big storm here, big severe weather developing here, and these severe thunderstorms will eventually move eastward, and we're going to get more heavy rain, more severe weather risk around April 11th through the 13th. Then a period of dry weather where it doesn't do very much, but I'd watch April 27th through May 5th. The stage is set for some significant severe weather in the plains all the way eastward to Missouri. And we could have some moderate to high risk days in the plains during that time frame with some tornado outbreaks, and we will get in on the leftovers of those storms. Big upper trough coming in, negatively tilted. This is a great setup for a significant plains outbreak, and we may not have one. We may have two, as two negatively tilted upper troughs swing into the plains, and we get in on some of that severe weather as well. So that could be not only very active for the plains, but an active period of weather for us as well. So this wet weather pattern we're in now goes this. We dry out, then we get wet again and very active April 27th through May 5th. So not a lot of rain the 14th through the 20th, nor the 21st through the 26th, but it does get much wetter very late April to early May. So if you get some crops in the ground in mid-April or around the 22nd, let's say, 23rd, it's going to get much wetter at the end of April and in early May. Temperatures falling tomorrow, a high of 67 early, then falling into the 50s. The storms, then the rain, and then the rain decreasing, and 3 p.m. temperatures running anywhere from 49 north to 60 in the south. Sunday's a cool Easter with 51, no rain expected. I'm going to erase that 80% AM. That's for Saturday, so dry Sunday, but windy. Frost Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, but not highly damaging frost though. Then we warm up, a little clipper Thursday with a couple thunder showers. Warmer on Friday, and then we get into the warmer weather, the humid weather, and the severe weather risk called by frost, April 15th through the 17th.